Okay, so let's talk about Bitcoin. It didn't just pop up out of thin air, right? Nope. It was actually born from a massive global crisis, and it was designed to solve a very specific, and I mean very big, problem. So let's dive in and break down what exactly that was.
All right, to really get Bitcoin, we've got to rewind the clock. Our story starts not with some new tech, but right in the middle of a global meltdown, and with a creator who, to this day, is a total mystery.
So get this, the date is January 3rd, 2009. The world's financial system is just teetering on the edge of collapse. And on that exact day, this headline from the Times of London was secretly, permanently embedded into the very first block of the Bitcoin network. I mean, this wasn't just random data, it was a mission statement.
Yeah, that message, it was a clear shot fired right at the traditional banking system, a kind of digital protest. And it was put there by this anonymous creator, this ghost in the machine, known only as Satoshi Nakamoto, who, just a few months earlier, had dropped a paper proposing a totally radical new kind of money.
Okay, but before we jump into Satoshi's brilliant solution, we really need to wrap our heads around the enormous problem he was trying to solve. And this was a problem that had stumped some of the smartest computer scientists for decades.
So here's the fundamental challenge with any kind of digital money. I mean, if it's just a file, what's to stop me from just, copying it and spending it over and over again? This is what's known as the double spend problem, and it was the central monster that Bitcoin had to slay.
I mean, think about it with physical cash, right? If I hand you a dollar bill, it's gone. I don't have it anymore. But with digital money, you've always needed a central referee, like a bank, to keep the score and make sure nobody cheats. But for Satoshi, that reliance on banks, that wasn't a feature. That was the bug. That was the fundamental flaw in the whole system. So if you can't trust a central bank, who or what can you trust? Well, Satoshi's answer was this incredibly elegant, three-part system that solved that double spend problem once and for all.
It all boils down to these three key ingredients. First, you've got a public ledger, the blockchain, that literally everyone can see, no secrets. Second, all the transactions are locked into these blocks in a strict chronological order, like a permanent, unchangeable timeline. And third, and this is really the secret sauce, a process called proof of work. You can think of it like a massive computational lottery, where computers all over the world race to solve a really hard math puzzle. This makes it incredibly difficult and super expensive for anyone to cheat.
Exactly. The blockchain is basically a giant digital accounting book that anyone can look at, but no single person can ever change. It's this shared truth that means every single person on the network can check the entire history of every single coin, proving without a doubt that no coin was ever spent twice.
And that's what Satoshi was getting at in the original white paper. The goal was to completely bypass the old institutions and replace that fragile human trust with cold, hard mathematical proof. No more middlemen needed.
But here's the thing. By solving that double spend problem, Satoshi accidentally created something totally profound. For the very first time in history, it was possible to have something that was both digital and provably rare. This is the incredible idea of verifiable digital scarcity. And it's not just an idea, it's baked right into the code. The Bitcoin protocol has a hard-coded limit. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin. That's it. This means it's designed to be deflationary, preventing the kind of inflation we see with government-printed money.
And that is exactly why people started calling Bitcoin digital gold. I mean, look at the comparison. Like gold, it's scarce, but it has these amazing digital advantages. It's incredibly easy to divide into tiny pieces, and you can send it anywhere in the world instantly. Try doing that with a heavy gold bar. Good luck.
This really gets to the core of why so many people value it. As financial leaders, even guys like the CEO of BlackRock have pointed out, it's an asset of fear. You don't necessarily own it for your daily coffee run. You own it because you're worried about the value of your regular currency, the potential for it to be debased or inflated away. So when you really boil it all down, Satoshi's creation isn't just about a new kind of money. It's much bigger than that. It's about a fundamental shift in one of society's oldest and most important concepts: trust. I mean, think about what Bitcoin proved was possible. It showed us that digital scarcity is real, that financial transactions can be totally secure without a big central bank watching over everything, that we can send value anywhere on the globe without needing permission from anyone. But the biggest legacy of all? It's that trust can be built with code instead of with fallible institutions.
Satoshi gave us a brand new tool, born from the ashes of a financial crisis that replaces institutional trust with mathematical proof. So the real question for us, looking forward, is this. If we can rebuild our idea of money and trust, what else could we rebuild?